This week on Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, this is episode 100, and at least I'm excited. I don't know about Johnson, but we're here to celebrate 100 episodes and talk about the last three episodes of Lower Decks Season 3, which I don't know about you, but I'm excited about. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Johnson, happy 100th episode.
Hey, Mike, happy 100th episode / birthday.
It is. It's a big deal.
Anniversary. I guess an anniversary or whatever. I don't know what to call it.
Well, it's a big deal. 100. We're 100 episodes old.
Yes.
Cheers
Though,
to that.
again, if you count the episodes that we never really published, it's like, I don't know, maybe 105 or something.
Maybe.
But yes, 100th published episode. Very exciting.
Yes.
I am very excited. I am here for this.
You sound like you are. How's your week going? How are things going in Johnson's world?
The week is going okay. It's been a very hectic and busy couple of weeks at work. It's good. It's fine. I am going to conferences. I'm traveling again in a few weeks. It's a lot, but yeah, it's probably going to be pretty busy through the end of the year. It's going to be pretty nonstop, but here we are. That's usually how it goes though, towards the end of Q4. So it's okay though. I've been looking forward to recording this 100th episode nominally, but yes.
Nominally,
yes.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike? How's your week been?
I am getting I'm over strep, but yes. So I had strep throat last week, so it's a good thing that it was an off week because I was in no condition.
Well, yeah, and I was sick too, but not with strep. I just had a cold. It was just annoying. Lasted a few days.
Yeah,
I'm recovered now.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Sasha, you're welcome. But yes, no, I've recovered. I was very congested. It was annoying, but I am back to normal for the most part.
Yes, back to baseline, exactly.
Survival mode.
Yes. Well, that is good. And I am back to mostly normal as well. Although hopefully I still have some congestion, so hopefully that won't affect our episode tonight, but we'll see.
Me, fine. You don't sound abnormal.
Yeah.
And your internet's working, which is a plus so far.
My what?
Your internet is working.
Yes. Let's not jinx things here.
Let's not jinx it.
Oh my word. Yes, we want the 100th episode to record smoothly without any freezing or other impactful events that require my additional editing and off-screen yelling at you for mentioning that I am freezing. So there. All the things
sometimes it's really bad. I don't know if you know how bad it is. Sorry. It's kind of terrible. So
yes. But anyway, we're here to celebrate 100 episodes though. So
yes. Positivity only.
Yes, please. Yes. Please. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So we've been doing this for over 2 years.
Over 2 years, yeah. It was everyone asked me about this podcast and they're like, how to come about, how did you decide to start a podcast? And the easy explanation is that it was a pandemic podcast. It's like one of the many, many podcasts that launched during the course of the pandemic because people had time on their hands. They realized that they had things to talk about and share with people. And they decided to work on a podcast, order a cheap microphone from Amazon, get some free software, and get going. And yes, it was the year that launched a zillion podcasts, and we're one of those.
Yeah, but I feel like we survived all of that. Like, I feel like those ran out pretty quickly. Things, people, there's not suddenly a slew of people publishing their milestone episodes like we are. So, in that case, I feel much more accomplished because we've lasted this long. We've made it
Sure.
to 100.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes,
so
it
I
lasted a
think that's
while.
a pretty big deal. But yeah, this is a pandemic podcast, but it's also an idea that I had pre-pandemic.
Sure.
So there was that. And we get to know each other right before the pandemic
Hmm.
and started talking Star Trek through text messages. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
when Picard started,
Picard season one. Yeah.
yeah, Picard season one started, and I brought up doing a podcast, and we started recording right as the pandemic started for us anyway in mid-March.
Right. I
We
think we recorded what? We started recording in the middle of Picard season one. Was that right?
actually
It wasn't at the very start, I think.
no, it was towards the end because March was when it sort of was ending. So we were talking
Yeah.
in our first couple of trial episodes, we were talking
It was
about
towards the end, you're right.
we were talking about the ninth and 10th episodes, I think,
Hmm.
of Picard. So
Yes, and little known fact, because we haven't really talked about it extensively, is that originally this podcast was the name of the podcast was the Picardians, because it was
yes.
supposed to be very Picard centric. But I think I was the one that kind of pushed back on it because I was like, oh, it's like kind of I didn't love the name, but I was like, it's not just about Star Trek Picard. It shouldn't just be about Star Trek Picard. It should be broader in scope and nature. So
Sure.
that's when
Yes.
we tapped our friend Nancy, who at the time was working at a naming agency. Basically, she worked for an agency that not similar to copywriters, but they would come up with names for brands, names for companies, and things like that. We solicited her help to brainstorm some names for us. And we give credit to Nancy and shout out to Nancy for helping to come up with Deep Space Pride. This is definitely one of the ones that we were both immediately attracted to in the
Yes.
it was like I think there were like what like maybe like 6 8 options or something like that.
Yeah, we had a few
But yeah,
choices to choose from, and yeah,
yeah.
we landed on Deep Space Pride. And yeah, but before even that, so we did a bunch of trial episodes, right? And
We did.
so
Hmm.
we finished up Picard in like the first one or two episodes, and then we started rewatching some of season one and two and three of Next Generation. So I mean, part of the Picardians thing was that we both grew up watching Next Generation.
Right. Right.
So that was sort of our big entry. I mean, I did watch some original series before Next Generation came out, but I went hardcore when Next Generation came
Right.
out. So
Right. Right.
yeah, so that was also part of that. Um and yeah, so we recorded a bunch of episodes, and then as we were thinking about launching, I reached out to Bill and Dan, and
Right.
who I had been following uh, as a listener through Discovering Trek
Mhm.
um, and Trek Geeks, and I wanted to know how they launched a podcast and
Mhm.
get some advice from them.
Mhm.
And so um, I reached out to them and we had a meeting, and we sent them one of our episodes to listen to. I don't even remember which one.
I don't remember which episode that was, but
But they liked it.
apparently,
Uh,
yes, apparently I liked it. Yes.
They liked it, and we met, and they invited us to be on the network, which
Right. And you
uh,
were like, oh my God. And I was like, who? I was like, what
yes,
network?
you weren't listening to them at the time. I was. I had been, and yeah. yeah, I was kind of blown away by I'm still in shock as to that conversation. So yeah, huge shout out to Dan Davidson and Bill Smith, our executive producers who listened to our demo, not even a
Our
demo,
demo tape,
but our demo
basically.
tape and
That's
signed
essentially
us.
what it was.
Yeah, and signed us to be part of the network. So here we are. We launched officially on the network in
Hmm.
September of 2020. And here we are in October, wrapping up the end of October 2022. And we've
Yeah.
hit 100 episodes, and
Hmm.
we've been to three conventions, two Star Trek conventions, and Comic
Yes. I
Con.
was like three. Yes. We've been to two Star Trek and Comic-Con, correct.
Yeah. And yeah, and met a bunch of people, and yeah, it's been quite a couple of years.
Yeah. And it's been very consistent. We've recorded almost every week. I mean, recently we switched to a bi-weekly schedule, but if it's been 2 years and we reached episode 100, then, means that we didn't skip too many weeks
We
if
did
you think about
not.
it.
Yeah,
So,
no, we did not. Yeah. So, but things have gotten busier now. Life has picked up again, sort of post-pandemic.
sure.
And so yeah, we need a little more time to our lives are a lot busier. We're not
How
stuck
are
at home.
you feeling? How are you feeling the free time that you have gained back from
I
not having to record every week?
don't know that I've gained, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I've filled the time appropriately yet, but it's nice to have the off week to, yeah, just to, I mean,
I mean, to do nothing, that's fine too.
yeah, I mean, I've watched a little bit more TV. As things have gotten more stressful, I needed like the outlet to watch TV a little bit
Sure.
more. So yeah, I would say just a little more downtime. I think going for so long, it
Hmm.
was draining a little bit, and I knew that, energy was running, not low, but energy was just at a premium these days.
Hmm.
And life is just different, and it's stressful in different ways. And, things that weren't happening during the pandemic are happening. And, so yeah, yeah, I feel like we've gone back to, I mean, the world is definitely different, but I feel like we've gone back to a more like things are busier, people are out, all kinds of things. So I feel
Sure.
like, yeah, but we still have lots of Star Trek, which is pretty exciting. As
Yeah,
we kind of
there's still
talked
a
about
lot of Star
last
Trek.
week.
Maybe not 52 weeks of Star Trek, but still kind of close. Still a lot.
Yeah, and we have an overlap this week of Prodigy and Lower Decks, which,
That's
you
right. Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
um, is one thing. I mean, we're recording this, a night early, but by the time everyone listens to this, you'll have seen the finale of Lower Decks season 3 and the premiere
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
part 2, or is it part 3 of Prodigy's first season? I don't know how to really qualify it,
Oh,
but
I would call it 1B, like season
1B, okay.
1B. Yeah. Because it is
So,
that, because we finished the 10 episode arc with a diviner and such,
yes,
more or less.
yes,
Like,
more or
that,
less.
yes. So that was 1A. And
Okay.
now 1B is the chase with Admiral Janeway and such.
Right, right. Yeah, and we finished up season 3 of Lower Decks, which we're
Yeah.
going to talk about tonight.
Right. Three
Uh,
episodes. We're gonna talk about three episodes
we
in one
are,
sitting. Yeah.
yes. 3 amazing episodes from my perspective,
Hmm.
but yeah, so it's hard to believe that we are at episode 100. What ha I'm asking you an emotional question like this.
Mhm.
What has been a highlight of this podcast for you?
So I was thinking about this. I think the highlight for me is when you and I recorded in person for the first time, if you recall. So that was, we only recorded in person together like a small handful of times. I think it's really just been 2, 3 times. But the first time we recorded in person together, we had gone out to dinner. It was a belated birthday dinner for you, if you remember. We were both a little buzzed. We went back to your place and we had a bottle of Chateau Picard to also try.
Yes.
So it was a live tasting. It was a live tasting and an episode review. I do not remember what the episode was. And it was disgusting. I hated Chateau Picard. I thought it was gross. I mean, I'm very particular about wine. I'm not like a big wine connoisseur. So usually it needs to be like a good wine for me to really enjoy it. And this was just like, it was just like, it fell flat for me so much. However, the company was very enjoyable. Lols, lols.
Lols.
But
Oh, well,
no,
that's
that was
nice.
memorable. It was like, the first time we had been recording for a while.
Mhm.
Obviously, we had been seeing each other, but it was like the first time that we recorded together in person. It took you 20 to 30 minutes to figure out the technical stuff. And even afterwards, you were freaking out that you might have lost like your track or something like that, if you remember. Like it was like all this back and forth.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that was very memorable. It was a highlight for me.
Okay.
Just being
All
able to
right.
do that. We made it special with, some Star Trek wine, even though it was disgusting. And it was also nice that we were both kind of buzzed. So
Yeah, that
that
was
was that was a highlight for me.
that was fun. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. Are we also talking about lowlights?
You're right. You're like ready to give a low light. Sure, go ahead. What's a low light for you?
Picard season 1 was a low light, or Discovery season 4. Like the whole thing is terrible. But
Hmm.
no, I mean, I'm just kidding. Am I kidding though? Not really. Um, yeah, I would say that. I would say I don't truly have any low lights. It's like more like some of the episodes and some of the seasons were not that great, but here we are.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, sure, that's understandable to have, that's funny. The episodes that we talk about are the low lights for you. That's, you know, that's
I
that's good.
mean, basically, Discovery season 4, other than like maybe like 2 episodes, it was basically me complaining about every other episode. It was like harrowing. It was the whole season I was like complaining.
Yes,
So,
well, yeah. I mean, we had a lot of issues with season four, but one of my
and you keep
highlights.
on hating on Tarka,
Oh,
like
I
he
hate
was triggering
Darko.
for you. Tarka didn't bother me that much. It was the whole season that was like bad for me, but Tarka was like a trigger for you.
I
So we
mean,
both had
Tarko.
issues.
Yeah, Tarko is a big part of the season, though. Uh, yeah, and now I forgot what my highlight was. Oh, I know what my
This is
highlight.
why I take notes before we start recording.
Yes, you instead of doing it before we jump on the Zoom, you do it while we're sitting here talking and like figuring
Correct.
things out. Yes. That's the level of preparation that we have sometimes. But anyway, one of my highlights was I think talking about all of
Will Wheaton, Doug Jones. I'm just guessing.
well, yes, those are definitely highlights for me for sure. Talking to Doug Jones on the roof of my hotel in Hawaii and being able to just do that. And then on top of that, going to Mission Chicago and meeting Doug Jones and him knowing exactly who I was and all of that. That was a big deal. Talking to Will Wheaton was huge. But from an episode standpoint, like uh it was funny because I think the most fun we had recently doing the recording
Uh-huh.
was talking about Strange New Worlds, which we
Like
both
in
loved.
general.
Yes, because
Yes. Yes.
sometimes so one of the low lights is that sometimes when we're arguing about an episode,
Yes,
that's
it can get very
very
contentious.
Yes, it's very de-energizing at times. And
Oh, really? Oh, it's not de-energizing for me. I get like very
no,
animated.
of course you don't get de-energized. um,
Whatever.
so
We
yeah,
both love our turns on top of the soapbox.
sure. But I thought it was really cool to be able to just love on Star Trek for a whole season
Right.
with Strange New Worlds. So there was never anything we really didn't like or we never argued. So it was like 10 weeks, 10 episodes where we didn't argue.
Yes, it was
Um,
enjoyable. It's nice when we
so
both are on the same
that
page.
actually would be the biggest highlight of 100 episodes would be for me, it would be not arguing with a episode.
All right.
Um, so since we argued from the very beginning of this podcast about Picard, and then we complained about Discovery, and then,
We like Lower
we
Decks
had,
though.
oh yeah, no, yes.
And we also like Prodigy.
We do like Prodigy a lot, and Lower Decks is also, although Lower Decks has been mixed for me this season.
Oh,
And
except apparently these last three episodes.
yeah, no, absolutely. Except for these last, and the Deep Space Nine episode for sure, and then these
And
three episodes
Reflections.
and reflections.
So
Yes,
you like to basically have the season, which is not that.
I liked. No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, 5 episodes out of
I
10.
enjoy, other than the episode which we will not name, the other episodes outside of those,
Sure.
were fine. But I am, yeah, no. So yes, going back to my highlight was having 10 weeks of not arguing with you about an episode, having strong disagreements and fighting, which is usually what happens with Picard and or Discovery,
Oh my
and
God.
occasionally other things, especially, my thoughts on peanut butter bullshit. And other things. So yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I think, it's funny. We're different people, obviously. No
Oh
kidding,
yeah,
no shit.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you're definitely much more of a half glass full person. And I'm definitely much more of a half glass empty person, which I think our listeners and our friends all know. So, I think even when we're talking about like in my mind, like not a good episode, you try to highlight like what is good about it and you try to see the positive. And I'm like, no, this is fucking terrible. Like even the good stuff was fucking generic. So,
But what's even
it's
more funny is that when I get on a soapbox about things I don't like, you're always quick to defend whatever I am arguing
It's true.
against.
It's funny. Yeah, because I actually like Peanut Hamper and I didn't
Uh,
like Target was kind of annoying, but I didn't like hate him as much as you did.
No, no, I mean, those are two characters that I cannot stand. And yeah, I'm
I
glad
think
one of
the
them
thing is,
is.
I think you're also more emotional than I am. Like I try to see things like logically. I'm like, this is just bad. It's like bad writing. It's a bad narrative setup. Like these are bad ways to develop the characters. I think that those are all legitimate things to say about season 4 of Star Trek Discovery. Like I think you even have to agree. We talked about this, and I'm
Of
like, there's so much
course.
potential for the show. I think the reason why I get mad, quote unquote, mad, is because I feel there's so much potential for the show, and they just miss basic things like develop your characters better. Like just write better.
But what's
Like, come
funny
on.
is that what's funny though is that you will feel that way, yet when I feel very negatively or bad, like I am mad or hate something, you go to bat for those things. Like, oh, it's no
Yeah.
big deal.
So I
That's
think the
great. But
reason
why
why is
does
like
that
I'm
do
trying to
that? That doesn't
see
do
it
that for
like
me.
because I try to judge things very logically, which is not saying that's better or worse than anything else. I feel this is objectively bad. Like this is objectively poor writing. Like, but I
Yes.
feel like you get caught up in the emotions a little bit. Like, for example, Tarka, right? I think like he was like very triggering for you as a character because of
Mhm.
his like bullying nature. I'm like, like, I think he's not that great, but like, from just a pure character perspective, like, I don't think he's a bad actor, and I think that they're trying, but they're trying as hard with him as with any other character on the show, which is like half baked. You know what I mean? It's like he's not like a very well written character, but he's very tropey, like any other character on the show. So it's like, I was like trying to like, I think just trying to look at it logically versus like being caught up in the motion of like necessarily just being triggered by the character.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you push back on me too. So we have our moments.
Yes, we do. We do indeed. Yeah. So, I mean, and definitely throw in interviewing Will Wheaton into those highlights. That was huge because I worked a really long time to make that happen.
You did. You went after his agent or whatever.
Yeah, but, I mean, I did a lot of legwork for that, and yeah, it was great, and I'm a big fan of his. So that's the other thing. Just like I'm a big fan of Doug Jones, and but that sort of came together differently, obviously. So yeah, I think that those are, I also want to say that like I remember significantly the other episodes that I remember, and one other episode that I remember significantly is our 25th episode, where
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, no, I do, because you're like, yeah, what's the big deal? It's just 25, like, call me when it's 50. And here we are at 100, and you bring that same sort of attitude, like 75 episodes later, you're like, 100, what's the big deal? It's just a number, all of these things. And I'm thinking, we have recorded over 100 hours of audio, over 100 hours.
More than that, yeah. Probably more like 150.
But at a minimum, we have released about 100 episodes that are on or about an hour long, roughly. Some are slightly shorter, some are a little bit longer, but anyway.
Significantly longer. We've had like an hour 40 or hour 50.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped to be hitting 100. And I'm looking forward to many more. Because one of the things that one of the highlights is being able to talk with another Star Trek fan who also happens to be gay, and talk about our favorite series and our, and do this on a regular basis. And so that has also been a highlight for me, as this sort of started through text messages, when you would, this was definitely early days it was before the pandemic, but you would be like, have you watched it yet? You would like wake up on Thursday mornings and watch Picard or whatever. And then you'd be like, you need to watch this. Like, you were so on top of watching it the first season. And yes, you were like, did you watch it yet? Like, oh my gosh, did you watch? Like, just, I remember the early text messages that we had talking about this. And so yeah, it's been we're almost,
it's been a journey.
It has. It's
been a long road.
No, do not go there. We're not. We are not.
No, it's been great. I agree. I wish there were more. Honestly, I wish there were more people in my life that were big Star Trek fans. But honestly, it's like, kind of few and far between. It is, I think, in the grand scheme of things, somewhat niche. So it is nice to have another friend / member of the LGBTQ community who appreciates it and is able to see it through that lens. So thank you for being you, Mike. You're awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for doing this with me and agreeing long ago when I had to convince you to do this podcast. And, the other thing that was a highlight is that we've had, Callie on as a guest, and we've had Sam on as a guest as well. So those were fun times to um bring other voices into the
So I was like,
conversation.
who's Sam? I was like, oh, Dr. Sam. Dr. Sam. I was like,
Dr.
who's Sam? I was
Sam.
like, can't remember. I was like, Sam. Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam,
Need the
yes.
full name. Yeah.
Sorry, Dr. Sam, yes. So
Yes.
it's been fun to have those, and I think it'd be fun to do some more of those, having another voice in here to
We've had Nancy on as a
oh yeah, we've
guest.
had
I think
Nancy
wasn't
on,
she
yeah.
our 20 was she our 25th
Yeah,
episode
maybe she
guest?
yeah, she might have did 24 or 25, I can't remember. But
Something.
yeah.
I mean, you have other friends that Gary watches Star Trek, right? Your friend
Yeah, I
Gary.
think so. Yeah. I don't know that anyone is, well, I'll I guess that'll be
You know what
part
we
of.
should do? We should have other members of the Trekkie Network on as guests.
Well, that's the easy way out
They're
of,
there for the taking. We just haven't tapped into it, to be
yes.
honest. Yeah.
Well, we are primarily the representatives of the LGBTQ community on the network. So,
Sure, that's true.
I mean, there
Yes.
are a couple of others, but,
A couple
so
others, just some other people. We should reach out to Lambda Quadrant or something. I don't know anyone in that group, but
I don't
I'm
either.
sure. Yeah.
But we should, yeah, absolutely.
Bad at networking. I'm so bad at networking, so it's all on you.
You say that, it's so funny. I am actually more of the introvert when it comes to networking. You have all of these friend groups and
Yeah,
social
but networking is
obligations.
different. Networking is not the same as I don't know,
Mm,
friends that I've
well,
made through different situations. I don't know.
yes. Well,
You're the one, but you're the one when we go to these conventions, you want to hang out with everybody, and I'm like, see you back in the hotel room, you know? Like in Vegas, I was
Yes.
like, bye, Felicia's. I need self-care time. I don't want to be here anymore.
Sure, sure. Yes,
And
yes.
you
I
show up like
understand.
2 hours later drunk.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there to do but drink and,
I know, it's true.
talk about
In Vegas.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to Vegas because of this podcast. We went to Chicago because of this podcast.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, um, yeah, a lot of cool things have happened, and hopefully more cool things will continue to happen in the future. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. Here's to 100 plus more episodes at least. 200 episodes. 200 more episodes. Once we reach 300, then I'll really be
Oh
ecstatic.
yeah, sure you will. That is false. That
Oh
is
my God,
false.
300 episodes. Can you think about that? That will take at least another. Wait, now that we're doing bi-weekly, that will take 8 years.
Yeah, if I
Can you think
haven't,
about that?
no, I don't. I mean, it'll be a miracle if I don't kill you in the next 8 years. So yes, I think it
I
will.
can't. 8 years. 8 years to do 200 more episodes of this podcast. Oh my God. That's
Well,
crazy.
so Trek Geeks, Bill and Dan have been doing this for 7 years, and they are approaching 300 right now. So,
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
so. But they're
So,
smart and they take time off, unlike
yeah.
us idiots who have basically, and in fact, we've had days
Taking
where
some time off. What are you talking about? We've had breaks.
we've had breaks, but we've always front loaded our recording to cover those breaks. It's
Sure.
not like there was
No, we've
less
taken a couple
work.
weeks off here and there. We've taken a legit a couple weeks off, just not polish for sure.
Right. But on any planned away missions, we have recorded 2 or 3 episodes early to release
Right.
them while we were
Mhm.
away. So
Yeah.
yes. So yeah. So
Oh
there
my
we
God.
go.
8 more years. You'll be approaching. Hey, could you imagine?
I will kill you if you say that number out loud again. Ever. I will kill you. I will.
No, that's
end
just
your
crazy to think
existence.
about. It's crazy to think about.
I'm just trying to get through the next year,
Just saying.
just trying to get through 2023. And the end of 2022, please. So, yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Well, shall we talk some Trek? Like that's what we're here to do, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have
Oh, we're
anything
gonna
else you
do
want to
like a
share.
contest or something. We're gonna do a contest, a giveaway.
Oh, I
That
see. This
never
is part of
got
the problem.
organized.
Yes. We never did get organized, but check our social media. We may have something coming up very shortly.
Or not.
For to celebrate. No, I mean I have stuff to give away, so I need to give it
Oh,
away.
okay.
So yeah.
Like things
Yeah.
to get rid of.
Yeah, like DVD sets. No, I don't even have a DVD player, so
Yeah.
that we've gotten promotional stuff.
Oh, I have a DVD player. I have a PS4. I have a DVD. Duh.
I'll see. But yeah, no. So yeah, we'll definitely have some things to celebrate. Check our social media. We'll get on that um this week ish. Yeah. So
More or less.
more or
More or
less.
less. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you ready to talk some Star Trek now? Or do you
Yeah.
have other reminiscence that you want to share about this journey so far?
No. I already got on my Discovery soapbox. I don't need to go back on it. like,
Yeah,
like,
you do
I'm
not.
good.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good with the soapboxes.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, is
cool.
there any Star Trek news for us to talk about?
Oh gosh. I mean, I have not seen anything significant.
I mean, there's like
Um,
some stuff, but I don't think any of it, like you're saying, I don't think any of it's like, oh my God, like what's happening?
yeah, no.
Um,
No, I don't think there's been
yeah.
any real news. Obviously, Prodigy is doing their, PR campaign prior to this season 1B, as you named it. So that's
1B.
happening.
It's gonna stick 1B.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of it's just been lower decks coverage, which isn't a
Kate
lot. And
Mulgrew
then
visited the Captain Janeway Monument in
oh yes,
Indiana.
that's right. I do remember
That
seeing
that was
that
cool.
briefly. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's big news, but that was kind of cool. I can't believe someone like basically like started like it was like a group me or not group me. Oh my God, like a GoFundMe, like GoFundMe for this bust. And
Oh, is that
yeah,
is that how it came about?
I think so. I think it was basically a crowdsourced bust of Captain Janeway, and it happened.
All right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
With determination, anything is possible. That is the lesson.
Oh, there we go. Well,
There we
when
go.
speaking of Janeway, I have really come to appreciate Kate Mulgrew in a new sense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, she's great.
I mean, I was happy that she was the first female captain, and that was a big deal back in the day, back in the 90s. Obviously, that was huge. But I want to say that she's really come into her own with Prodigy, and yeah, I think she's just an incredible champion for kids and spreading the message of Star Trek to a younger generation and also multi generations. So I think that I love the way that she talks to on who's Emily from Discovering Trek Prodigy, Emily and Mike's daughter.
Ah, okay. I was like,
So I
what are we talking about?
love that she how she talks to during they just did a PR push. They were interviewing her. I just love how Kate talks to kids in general, and talks about kids in general. I think it's just super awesome. And she's sort of like the grandmother, the Nana, the Grammy that you always wanted. So
Oh,
so yeah. So huge
that's
shout
great.
out to Kate Mulgrew
Yeah,
for
and
all
I
of
talked
that.
about this. She's a very passionate person. And it was funny when we saw her in Chicago. I think I don't know if it's a question prompt or if she's just talking about it because she was talking about like her passions and acting and writing and whatever. And she was like, I can't imagine living without having any passion. And like, and then he looked at me because I'm not particularly passionate about anything. And I'm like, just like you can choke on by, just like make it work. Like,
If
but
only
she's a very passionate person, which I really do
yes.
appreciate.
If only she could have inspired you, but not even Captain Admiral Janeway can inspire
No,
the inimitable Johnson Lee. So
no, yeah, I'm empty and dead inside. Anyway, yes, so there's that piece of news. In other news, barely news, but I went to trivia this week. So I went to
oh
trivia
gosh.
at Valhalla Bar, which is this beer garden like bar on 56th and Ninth or something like that. 55th and Ninth.
Oh, okay.
Very close to both of us, and they have Monday Night Trivia, and I am the worst at trivia. I do not know anything. Like I really don't know
How is
anything.
that
Like
possible? How is that possible?
there was a geography category. I know shit about geography. There was a sports one, forget it. It was over. There's a music one. I don't know music at all. So it was all bad. But then there was a Nickelodeon category. I've never watched Nickelodeon. I'm like, I'm not going to be helpful here. However, there was one question. I'll read the question because I saved the screenshot. And I was going to save the screenshot because we were playing on our mobile devices. It was like it was a team thing. But one person on each team was on their phone answering the questions. But you can also log in. It's very tech savvy, but you can also log in and be an observer so you can read the questions. The question is, what sci-fi series has an animated Nickelodeon show with the subtitle Prodigy that debuted on the cable channel in 2021? And I was very confused by this question because I was like, Prodigy did not debut on Nickelodeon in 2021. So I was like, is it Star Trek? Because it must be. It can't be anything else. But is this a trick question? Like, is there another show with a subtitle of Prodigy that actually made its debut on Nickelodeon in 2021 that I don't know about? And this is that I'm being like gaslit or something. And I was like, no, it has the question, well, like the question is structured incorrectly. And it is what other show has Prodigy as what other sci-fi series for that matter has Prodigy as a subtitle?
Right.
So everyone on my team was like, oh, and I was like, it's Star Trek. And they're like, are you joking? Because I was joking leading up to trivia. I was like, I will only be helpful if there's a Star Trek related question or category. And I was like, it's Star Trek. And they're like, are you shitting? And I'm like, no, it's Star Trek. And then they still thought I was joking. I was like, fucking write Star Trek down as the answer. So it was very, I was very insistent. So yeah, it was Star Trek, but the question was wrong. It was, it was not written correctly because it didn't make its debut on Nickelodeon until this year, and it technically made its debut on Paramount Plus. So it's very confusing, but common sense persevered. And
ever the literalist you are, but yes, you went for the details of the question instead of the spirit of the question. But again, that's on brand. So no,
yeah, because I don't know, like it's trivia, so they're not. Trivia is not like they're not going to throw these like trick questions at you, but still, I was like overthinking it because I was like the question's wrong, like it's not written correctly. So
yes, you were definitely overthinking it, but I'm happy that you could contribute one bit of Star Trek knowledge to the group.
Yes, and that was it. And then they kept on going. I was like, I don't know any of the answers, but I was able to.
You were useless otherwise, but you did know
correct.
Star Trek Prodigy, so kudos.
Yeah, a lot of the questions were actually the Nickelodeon category. They were very niche. And having never watched Nickelodeon, I was like, I have no idea what's happening. So
Indeed.
here we are.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. A little glimpse
Cool.
into Johnson Lee's personal life, one of his many social events on his calendar.
Trivia would again not be my top choice for social event because again I'm not good at trivia, but it was nice to see people. And I don't drink beer, so I didn't even drink anything. So here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Beer garden beer, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Well, let's talk the final 3 episodes of Lower Decks season 3. Wow, just 3 amazing episodes. We're going to start off we're going to talk about all of them, but let's start off talking about the first one, episode 8, which I know you know the title off the top of your head.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it. Crisis Point 2, Paradoxus.
Paradoxus. All I could remember is Paradoxus. I could not for the life of me remember Crisis Point 2. And I've watched this episode 3 or 4 times, and I still could not remember the front end of that. All I could think of was Paradoxus. But
Captain Kirk?
Oh my, no. It's Captain Sulu.
Oh my gosh, Captain Sulu. Even better. Sorry about that. The mailbox said...
I took this place off Kirk's hands. He had to go and time travel, or who knows what. The man could never relax.
What is this place?
Pretty nice spread, right? There's even a hot tub in the back.
Is this heaven? The afterlife? The Nexus?
It's Idaho. Would you like to feed the horsey?
Sure. I didn't program any of this. I was in the holodeck trying to find meaning in the randomness of death, but I just made a fool of myself.
Brad, I've lost many friends. Some heroically, some tragically. The randomness of death is merely a reflection of the unexpected joys we find in life.
So if I spend my life worrying about a meaningless death, I'll never find joy?
I literally just said that.
Sorry. Thanks, Captain Sulu. I think I can live with that.
Happy to help a fellow Starfleet officer looking for answers.
Oh, great, awesome. So, can I ask you what it was like working with Spock and Uhura? Was it weird using the crystal buttons on the Enterprise? Oh, did you practice daily with the sword? I'm kind of a sword guy myself, so...
The horsey's going to bite you now.
What?
Anyway, so let's talk about that episode first. Johnson, what did you think about Brad Boimler's follow-up to the, shall we say, tragic Crisis Point 1?
Vindicta, whatever.
Vindicta's, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I really like this episode. I just thought overall, obviously we get a lot of great moments with Brad. And, we get some character growth moments for Tendi as well. But I just thought this episode was just so clever with all the callbacks and the Easter eggs and ways that it weaved in all these different elements from all these different Star Trek movies. And it wasn't, it was just done so well. It was weaved in a way that made sense for what they're going for. And it's kind of like, if you don't get the reference, you don't get the reference, but it's still like just done so well. Like it's still enjoyable, even if you don't like get every single reference that they make. And overall, it's definitely just an homage to Star Trek movies, whether how over the top they are, when it comes to the Star Trek 5 reference and the fact that they merged like, meaning a god with like finding Voyager in the middle of Beecher, like things like that. Like it was just like in this case, it was like the Kitty Hawk, which I had to look up because I did not know what the Kitty Hawk was. And I was like, oh, it's that Wright Brothers plane. I was like, okay, I get it. Yep. But then you also have George Takei making a cameo at the very end. That was unexpected. The computer graphics from Star Trek 2 that were replicated when they were explaining the chronogami.
Yeah, the chromogami.
The
Yes.
chromogami.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
and when hologram Freeman was like trying to explain it, and yeah, chrono meaning time, and
Yes.
kami and Mariner was just like, we get it, it's like break it down. But it's just
My
it's so
favorite my favorite through line of this episode is Mariner's commentary. She just
oh yeah,
rips on every trope and every little
right.
thing that is runs through the entire episode. So I think that that's
Yeah. And then there was that one scene I recall seeing it, but I didn't quite understand it, and I only watched it one time. But it was when they were in the holodeck and Mariner steps out of the holodeck, but she steps over the widescreen bar. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like, because like when they're in the holodeck, it's in widescreen. So there's the black bars on top and the bottom, but when they're outside the holodeck, it's like normal. It's like normal.
I did not pick up on that. That's so funny.
But she steps over, yeah. So she's stepping out of the holodeck because it's in widescreen mode, and literally she steps over like the black
That is
bar.
amazing. That the detail, the level of detail that they put into this.
I noticed that. I was like, I remember her like lifting her leg, and like I was like, why did she do that? And it didn't register that, yeah, from when they go outside the holodeck, it's not in widescreen.
That's
so just like small, and that's like a callback to what was the episode when they were in the holodeck with Dr. Tana and Shax? I'm sorry.
Oh,
and
yes.
And they were leaving, and they went from black and white to color.
Yeah,
like, it's it's like that.
Yeah.
It's going from the holodeck into the real world, and it's like that merging of the two.
Yeah.
Just like small details like that are so clever, and I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just really well done. Like, it was like, it's just the way they merge all these tropes and all these like different like story elements together from all these different Star Trek movies. It was just great.
Yeah, I mean, I loved, I think that Mariner's commentary fits really nicely to when the three of them, she, Tendi, and Rutherford, sit down to watch the opening credits. And so they're like, you can see the their shadows over the credits. And along with her commentary, it gave me Mystery Science Theater 3000 vibes.
Oh, I've never seen Mystery Science Theater.
Just, and just the level of sarcasm seemed extra with Mariner in this episode. It was great.
Right.
Commenting on everything from, like, it's almost like we hired a new younger crew to play these old characters, like referencing the JJ universe and
right. Wasn't that Tendi? Like, she was saying, I mean, that was a repeat joke because they had made it a couple episodes ago where it was like alternate cinematic universe where we, or something like that. That was
and but Tendi goes in this one, she goes, that's not possible. She, like, scientifically, she comes off as the science, from what I remember, like the science officer, and says, yeah, but that's not possible, and it's kind of makes fun of it.
Like, that's too far-fetched or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just a fun romp with a very serious through line in it, which was the death of Boimler's twin,
William Boimler. Yes.
Twin that sort of causes this separate story. So you get Tendi, he hands off command to Tendi, and Tendi gets, to be the acting captain, which she takes so seriously, and Rutherford's just like along for the ride, like wants to goof off. It's like vacation for him, basically.
Right.
And she's taking this so seriously. And what I love about it is that they take the lead, even though Brad's not there and the other characters are actually higher ranked than both of them. So they're both like lieutenant commanders, and everyone else is a commander, maybe except Shax. But it just cracks me up that it's both the lower deckers and the upper deckers together, and the lower deckers are actually running. And I get it that it's a holodeck, but I just thought it was really cool that you didn't get a ton of the actual characters of the command crew kind of like taking command, other than like providing that nonsensical information that was needed, like the chromogamy and like things like
Right.
that. So
I don't know if you ever think about this, but sometimes in these holodeck episodes, particularly given that there are two storylines going on at the same time, I'm like, how can this much fit into the holodeck? Like physically. Do you ever think about that? Like, because
I did think
in
about
the
that.
TNG,
I did think about that a
technical
little
manual,
bit.
they kind of, what was that?
I did think about that a little bit, because when Mariner leaves to go for her evaluation and she comes back into Brad's part of the
Right.
holodeck, not
Right.
into Tendy's. So it's very interesting that, how that works out. I thought that was kind of funny, and one of those unexplainable kind of things, but
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. And the TNG technical manual has the whole section on the holodeck and how the technology in the holodeck is supposed to give you the idea of perspective. And even if two different characters two different people in the holodeck, rather, like how that works. But this was like literally like there are four people in the holodeck experiencing two complete disparate storylines.
Yeah.
And I was like, and even throughout, like, because this is the way my brain works sometimes, I'm like, how does this work?
Oh, see, I did not even think
Yeah.
about it until Merida comes back in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
I was just like,
she leaves Brad, and then, he continues on the adventure. She goes for her eval and
Right.
then comes back. And that's what I thought was kind of interesting, was that she joined his storyline. So, I loved just the depth of character development in this episode, just with, more about Brad, more about even Mariner. I mean, Mariner gets a glowing review from all of the people she's worked with. Like, so it's like she's gone beyond where she was in the beginning of the season, where she was handed off to Ransom and being very difficult and challenging. And now she's like getting rave reviews from the command staff. And, so I love that. I love that we get a call back to William Boimler and how that impacts Brad. And I love seeing the like lazy, laid back Rutherford versus the very intense, like wants to be captain now, Tendi. So I thought this was just a great episode, seeing all of our favorite characters growing and being developed in a really cool storyline that had so many callbacks. There are actually too many to mention. Obviously Star Trek 2 is a huge influence on this, but every movie was up for grabs in this practically. Yeah. So searching for answers, which I thought was great, like the Star Trek 5 references for Brad, and like visiting a planet with a god. I just thought it was just amazing. I
just realized that Kitty Ha is basically Kitty Hawk but missing letters. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yes. No.
I just realized that.
Yeah. Once they erase that, you're like, it's just hilarious. Just little things like that. So yeah, just a fun episode. Like this is, and as we'll get into in the next two episodes, this is just like Lower Decks at its best. Like, aside from Reflections, which I felt like really developed Rutherford's character, this like hit on all of the characters. And if you look at the beginning of the season to this point in the season, you see the development, you see the growth, and incrementally you kind of don't see it as much, but and in fact that's sort of one of my issues with the early part of this season, was that we're kind of going backwards into like Mariner's bad behavior, things like that. And it just felt very, repetitive. And then we, the later part of this season, 6, 8, 9, and 10, all take our characters in a ton of really cool and interesting directions, and really bring to life what I loved about season 1 of lower decks, and really for me the 8 plus 9 and 10 just really redeemed this whole season of feeling like it was kind of more of the same, and then we get these amazing episodes to round out the end of the season. So really, hit it out of the park for this one. And this one, this is the beginning of, for me, the last 3 episodes are just amazing. We were just going to talk about 8 and 9 today, but I was like, you have to watch 10 because I can't talk about 9 without 10. So.
Sure, I get it. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that this episode was particularly strong. And of course, they also leave us with a cliffhanger because William Boimler is alive.
Oh, yes. William Boimler is alive.
Is alive.
Part of Section 31.
Recruited by Section 31. Yeah. So we did get left with that. So we'll see more William Boimler at some point.
Maybe.
I suppose. Right?
Maybe not. Yeah. I mean,
I think so. I think we'll get more of him. Maybe in Crisis Point 3. My hope is that we're now working towards a Discovery rehash of Discovery season 2, where we have Control and Section 31. Especially with the collection of AIs that are accumulating at Daystrom. So anyway, my hope is that we're not going to go there. That's a potential problem.
Yeah.
I feel that's going to be honestly a larger issue. Wow. I don't know William's going to tie into that, but we'll see.
Who knows?
But really like this episode. Thought they did a great job. They even the animation and the music, the technical aspects were really well done.
Mm-hmm. I would say the music in these 3 episodes, in fact, are, and I'll talk more about it in the next 2 episodes, but music is definitely a huge part of these episodes as well. So
right.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to episode 9, Trusted Sources.
In my time on the Cerritos, I experienced a culture of conflict between the crew.
I mean, ops is clearly the best. We never had to take a spa vacation like engineering. The captain totally lost it, by the way. Those engineers are so hard to deal with.
Well, I got turned into a puppet on my very first mission. The crew never held it against me, though.
Oh, you should have heard Quark scream when he was being carried away. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Although there were some who had nothing but praise.
Well, there's a family you're born into, right? And then the family you choose. I've got both here on the Cerritos. If you're measuring by heart, this is the strongest ship in the fleet because we've got the best captain at the helm. My mom.
But this sole voice of California-class exceptionalism was transferred off the ship just for talking to me. Is Freeman really the best captain, or simply a cruel taskmaster?
Get to see a very excited and then very stressed out Carol Freeman.
Yes.
And how basically shit rolls down the hill in this episode. So what were your thoughts on Trusted Sources?
Yeah, no, I like this episode. I don't think I loved it as much as you did. I thought that it was good. I thought that the idea of a Project Swing By or something.
Yeah, Project Swing By, yes.
I thought that was actually, I think that's actually pretty brilliant considering, we usually see these planets once and never see them again. I thought that was actually, that's very smart.
Yeah.
And it was nice to kind of go back and see some of these planets, and to see how obviously it not quite work out the way that Captain Freeman was hoping for. We get some great action with the Breen when they visit Brekka and all that. That was a lot. Haven't seen the Breen in some time.
Yeah, it was a very stark difference between that and Onara, right? Onara. So yeah, I loved the callback, and also how quickly number one there, what can't I think of his name?
Ransom.
Ransom, thank you. Ransom knew Onara right off the top of his head, and
He did.
said, "Hey,
What did he say?
didn't that was Picard?
Oh yes, yes.
like 17 years ago." I'm like, "Holy crap!" Like, really?
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, I don't remember. I don't remember. To be honest. What episode? What TNG episode was that from?
It's from a season 1 episode, and it actually, so funny enough, it is actually from the person who, Merrick Buttrick played one of the people in this first season Star Trek Next Generation episode. He played David.
Was it Symbiosis?
Sons. What?
No,
Symbiosis. Yeah.
Was it Symbiosis?
But he plays David Kirk's son in Star Trek 2 and 3, and so there's a nice tie in there to the last episode with all the movie references. So yeah, there's that nice little tie in to that. But yeah, it was kind of funny how nothing, other than that mural. So you get the mural.
Oh my god, the mural was really funny.
Yeah, the mural.
It's like, great. We were like, just like freaking out for like 10 to 14 years or so. But then we got better.
Yeah. Then we suddenly found our health. So
that was funny. The mural was hilarious. Yeah.
The mural was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought that it was kind of funny how well, and I think this episode in particular highlights how Captain Freeman's a really bad control freak. Like,
right.
And so I actually thought it was funny, the expose at the end of the episode, which actually vindicated Mariner, but implicated Freeman as being the real problem of all of this. So I love the
let's be honest. Carol Freeman is like, she's not like bad captain, but she's like mediocre. Like, she's not like, even like when we go back to what was the season 1 episode where they were like it was like everything was timed. You remember? Like everything was on a really
Buffer Time.
Buffer Time. Was it Buffer Time? Was that the name of the episode?
I don't remember. But we'll have to look that up.
That was Buffer Time. That was what they were talking about. But Buffer Time.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Temporal Edict. Oh, I knew it was a very clever episode name. Temporal Edict.
Yeah, of course they have.
But yeah, she's not like a great captain. Like, she's fine. Like, she has her moments.
Yeah.
She has moments where she wins and she does do a good job, but other times it's like questionable, I think that was my qualm with this episode, because I feel that Mariner, even to us as an audience, was really set up to kind of fail. And I feel it was a little bit too much where essentially everyone like did not believe her when she was like, I didn't say any of this stuff. Even like her friends, Jennifer. I thought that was a little too much.
Well, I think Jennifer was the big disappointment for me. Like, she
I thought it was just a little bit too, and I feel that it was done for the purpose of pushing her out narratively, so that she would go on this other journey. And then realize in the next episode, the finale, that, I actually want to go back to, I want to be in Starfleet, like, I feel like it was a little forceful, which is what I didn't like about this episode, because it just felt like, I don't know, it felt too forced to repeat myself. But that was a big issue with this episode.
Oh, see, I think it was, as we'll find out, I think that's part of the lesson. What I think you get the real reason at the end of this finale. You when Carol and Mariner are reunited in in the lounge, that's when you
In the mess
find
hall.
out the mess hall. Yeah. So, that's, that you get that later. I think you kind of have to like understand that even though you just saw in episode 8 that she got a raving reviews from everyone, that there's still this underlying mistrust of Mariner, mainly from her mom. I think that like she's getting all these rave reviews, but it's not from her mom, or her mom
I just
has
feel
never
like
seen
it
that.
was extreme that the whole crew basically turned them. Even Rutherford Tendy and Boimler were like not quite believing her. They didn't like quite support her, and I thought that was a little much. I just thought that was a little bit, again, trying too hard to make this happen.
Yeah, but I also feel like Mariner set that up to some extent as well, because it wasn't like, oh, hey, I need to tell this reporter all the good stuff like that happens, like the real story. She thinks, she really played that off as like her determined self that was not going to be stopped. She was going to tell the truth.
I feel that's where what I'm saying, though, when I feel we were also kind of led down that path as an audience too. Like even with like the way that they were setting up with what she was saying, the way that she was like sneaking around to like talk to the reporter. Like even we as the audience were led to kind of be like, okay, Mariner wants to tell the reporter the dirt on, the Cerritos, right? Like I feel that they were really trying hard to like make that happen. And at the end of the day, like that's not, oh yeah, subverting expectations, like I don't know. It just didn't quite do it for me. But I don't think it didn't ruin the episode for me. I just didn't think it was like between the 3 episodes, it was like a bit weaker. I still enjoyed it overall though.
Yeah, I mean it's I felt like everything flowed in a way that made sense to me, even though you feel it was sort of forced. I felt like looking at the behavior of everyone, specifically Mariner, you kind of thought, I mean, even the audience was led to believe that, she did say all these things, and that
sure, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel that they were trying really hard to fit this narrative for her to leave and make it believable that she would resign. And for that arc to complete, right? That for her to want to come back in the finale. So to me, it felt a little shoehorned, but it wasn't completely. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's not completely out of left field given Mariner's history.
Yeah, and I think also that just the importance of what was happening here. Like, this was her mom's pet project, and she was already stressed out about it being a success, and then throw in her mom's control freak nature and Mariner's normal relationship with her mom, and I think boom, you've got like the recipe for all of these things to happen, and all of it is believable. I didn't feel any of it was forced or false. I didn't feel like we were led to believe one thing and misled in any way. But I really enjoyed it, and I thought that when we get the TMZ style report at the end,
the FNN reporters are all very expose. It seems like that seems to be their MO.
Yeah, so it was kind of it was funny to see how that all came out, and to see that it was everyone else who like basically crapped the bed, and Mariner was the one that was, as the reporter says, the lone voice of positivity or whatever. So I thought it was a really clever episode. I liked the way that it, none of these episodes actually felt like 25-minute episodes. They all felt longer.
Oh yeah, they always fit a lot in. Considering it's like 23, 24 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it was just really I enjoyed it. I felt like this really paid off, and what I loved at the end was that it paid off. So we met Petra Aberdeen earlier in the season when Bold Boimler had his little explosion and at the Starfleet fair or the career fair. And so I thought it was a really cool way for her mom to find out that she resigned after going to Starbase 80 and that to come back to see that had already happened. I mean, that was foreshadowed earlier in the season for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it all seemed to kind of play out. I thought just the way it was written and just the way that it was developed and played out was really well done. And it wasn't something that was shoehorned in at the end of the season, like a finale.
Right. Yeah.
So that I was actually happy about. I was happy about that. One, it was sort of a cliffhanger, but not really. A little bit.
It was kind of it wasn't too much of a cliffhanger. It was.
But these last two episodes definitely go together, and so we also get this new class of ship, the Texas class, that comes and saves the Cerritos, and all the things that kind of happen after that.
Right. The Lido. It's kind of like when is handing controls over to an AI ever a good idea in Star Trek?
Right. Yeah.
It's always very problematic. And though the Lido and the sister ships, the two sister ships, did give me very much like Prometheus vibes. If you remember the Voyager Prometheus ship that would go into attack vector mode. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
And that was also automated, but it gave me that because it turned into 3 ships and then it would like be able to like go into like this tactical mode or whatever. It kind of did remind me of that. Even like the shapes very like streamlined and flat. Reminded me of the Prometheus when it went to multi-vector attack mode.
Oh, interesting. I did not get that vibe, but yeah, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, okay, they're like AI controlled something or other. I'm sure this is gonna go to great places for all of us.
Well, and that sort of leads into the next episode, right? So, the finale, what is it called?
The Stars at Night.
The Stars at Night. Thank you. I was thinking of a flag full of stars, but it's the Stars at Night.
Oh my
god. Which is actually a novel that A Flag Full of Stars is actually a Star Trek novel. So,
oh, it is? I was like, what are we talking about? Like MAGA? Like
No. Which is probably why I was thinking of that, because that's one of the pocketbooks that I picked up in my travels this summer. Was that but anyway, so that leads us to the finale, which continues the story of the Texas class, of the future of the California class.
That bought us some time, but they're closing the gap.
We're gonna have to make our own luck. Give me options.
I say we eject the warp core.
We can drop out of warp and surprise it. AI doesn't get surprised. Can we rendezvous with the Titan? No, they're across the system.
Wait, guys, Shaq said...
Let's modify the deflector dish and use it as a giant weapon.
Is there something I can say to trap those AI in a logic spiral?
No, I safeguarded against paradoxes.
People, we're missing something.
Shut up and listen to Shax!
Mr. Boimler!
Please, Lieutenant, what did you say?
I kinda said we should eject the warp core.
Oh, that's what he always suggests. And it's brilliant.
It is?
We can use the warp core as a mine.
And drop it right in their path.
But wouldn't that rip us out of warp?
Better than getting ripped apart by photon torpedoes.
Mr. Shax, make it so.
Really, Captain? Oh, the brothers. Oh, yes.
Woo! You've got this, sir!
Thank you so much. You are all too kind.
Oh, Arnott, on the night of his joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I've dreamed of doing this for so long. Eject.
Yeah, I was a little confused by this and the setup. Like, so I guess I don't understand the nature of second contact, because this episode made it really seem like the nature of second contact is really like upkeep and maintenance. But in my mind, second contact there's a diplomatic element to second contact as well. It's not just like, oh, let's fix your replicators and, like energy supply. But this episode made it seem like that is literally the prime objective of second contact. So I was a little bit confused by that, because I was like, how is an AI ship supposed to like reinforce diplomatic relations, like, in second contact? So that threw me off a little bit. I do have larger questions about that. But yeah, I don't know if you registered that at all, but that was something that struck me.
That's funny. I didn't think about that piece of it.
Because when they were gonna race, I was like, what exactly are they doing? Like, like I don't get it. But
yeah, I think there was some definite inequity in that piece of things, because I think that was sort of the fallacy of this whole Texas class thing, was that, basically it's like you don't even need a crew you can just send empty ships with replicators to do this work and to, that sort of thing. So,
and I guess that's the nature of second contact, then maybe that is more efficient in some ways. Like if you to equip the Cerritos with an industrial replicator, you know what I mean? Then they will do their jobs much more efficiently. But where's the human touch in second contact? I guess that was right. Like there was that issue with the planet where they're like, oh, like there are microbes or whatever, but where's like the diplomatic, like human alien connection, or what you want to say about second contact? I feel that was a point that was somewhat glazed over for me.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's definitely a hole in this story a little bit, but again, it's like, it's sort of like the penny pusher, just the bean counters, like what's more efficient, what's, like, and when you think about it, there are thousands of planets to follow up with in the the history, and they're all in various stages of development. First contact assumes that they have interspace travel, and
they have warp.
Yeah. So
and apparently one united government, but not all the time.
Sure. So there, there's some, and then what happens after that? You introduce them to the Federation, and then what? Like what happens? Right. Do they send envoys to the Federation? Like, do they, are they like Bajor, and do they need like an advocate to help them bring them into the Federation? All that kind of stuff. But clearly this is more about like, as all good Star Trek does, it brings to light a current issue that we're facing in a different way. So the whole idea of automation and AI running things is definitely very rampant, so it's sort of that story basis is planted in our present in that way.
Wait, do you know that I have an AI client? Actually, did you know that one of the clients is AI? Yeah.
No.
Well, my argument is that good AI is supposed to supplement, not replace humans in what humans do. So that's like a lot of the positioning around AI development nowadays. That it's supposed to like reinforce what we can do better. Versus, I think the movie trope, the entertainment trope, which is like it's going to replace all of us. So,
which is the trope that happens in this story,
Sure. Yes.
That's the whole idea, is that the California, like basically, Admiral Benamigo is advocating for the creation of the Texas class and the decommissioning of all of the California classes.
Right.
Which, as we learn at the end of the episode, are like 50 odd ships.
Yeah. But that's kind of like, I it's not the Federation. It's not the, like, I don't know, the Star. I don't know what the council was. board
the
directors. I have no
Federation
idea.
Council, Starfleet Command. Starfleet Command.
Is it Starfleet Command?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it Starfleet Command? I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, it just seems like somewhat myopic for them to be like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and decommission this whole class and just replace it with robots. I mean, come on. Like, it just seems like a little ridiculous and far-fetched to me. That
There's
like,
definitely some lower decking of
it's like
of things, you know. But I think the main push here is the whole debate around AI and replacing human jobs, and like how freaked out the crew was that they were going to lose their jobs and go to like some starbase and have to wear, you know, Brad's like, I don't want to wear an olive green jumpsuit and things like that, you know. So I think there was the overall storyline was that, I mean, we get our first Admiral in Lower Decks.
Right.
We get a resolution to the Rutherford storyline, which totally
right. I didn't expect that to come back like this.
Not expecting that at all.
I did. Yeah.
You did pick up on Rutherford's interest in this Alito class, or sorry, the Texas class ship, and you know, his fascination with the code of it,
right.
Which seemed, you know, right away that's his focus, and nothing else kind of, you know, he kind of has
he was really fixated on it.
He was super fixated on that. So you know, you could sort of see it, but I wasn't expecting like the resolution to be like the answer to who, you know, who is behind Rutherford's implant and all of that.
Right.
Or the fact that he had been working on a version of Badgie as far back as, you know, 10 years ago or whatever it was, whenever he was.
Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Or I don't remember that being mentioned, that Badgie was based on Rutherford's like code or something. Like,
yeah, I'd have to go. We'd have to go back and rewatch season 1 when we, you know, first met Badgie and rewatch that episode. But I don't recall that being something that he's been working on for years. And
I don't remember. It's been a while.
You know, it's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. So, yeah. So, and I just saw something on my screen because I have Paramount Plus up, and I was like, we never talked about Sulu being in Idaho.
Oh yeah, all right.
Anyway,
I mentioned very briefly that Georgia K had a cameo.
But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, there's a screenshot. Welcome to Idaho, and there's Sulu and Boimler, and I'm like, oh,
right. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it as much as we should have.
Yeah. That was a great little callback, and just anyway,
again, they fit so much into a 24-minute episode that we can't even talk about everything in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, even
so
Brad, you know, one thing that sticks out to me even on every rewatch of it has been Brad saying something to the effect of, oh good, it's you, not Kirk, you know, essentially, like, you know, like, oh, even better is what he says. Like,
right, he says even better.
Sulu is even
I was like, I don't remember
Kirk.
him saying, "Oh,
even better is what he says
Kirk,
when he realizes that it's Sulu and not Kirk." So anyway, but that was a great surprise cameo for sure. And that it was part of this dream sequence that he had after he like basically passed out in the holodeck or whatever, collapsed. But anyway, jumping back to the finale, I have to say that one thing we touched upon before was the music in these episodes was just heavily contributed for me to the storyline, and reminded me, one of the things I do really love about Lower Decks is the fact that the music plays such a big role, unlike kind of the live action shows that we have.
Right.
With the exception of Strange New Worlds, I think Strange New Worlds music is slightly different than, and obviously it's done by a completely different composer. So I mean, Jeff Russo did the theme, but other than that, is it Nami? Nami may even.
Oh, I don't know.
From Prodigy, but anyway, the music plays such a great role, and it just reminds me of 90s Trek and the music that underplayed all the episodes. And I go and try to listen to the soundtracks for the current series.
Sure.
And it just does not have, you just don't have those like best of both worlds moments, or like things like that. And these episodes, all three of these last episodes, really, like, the music just is another character in the episode and just makes it all that better. So that is for me. Oh, I know what happened. Is such a great part of this episode. Specifically, right. So the ending when and honestly, like the Cerritos,
like when the California classes come, the other California
yeah. But also, like, one thing right before that though is that the Cerritos gets its ass kicked. Like,
I know. Well, the Cerritos gets his ass kicked in these 3 episodes. All 3 episodes. It's really that, like, in Crisis Point, it's in the holodeck, but still, like, like, it's it's not a very good, like, fight, like, tactical ship at all. Like,
it is not a tactical ship at all. Yeah, exactly.
There's a fighting.
I think this sort of highlights it. This is definitely the limiting factor in the California class ships. So
it's funny. They have phasers, they have photon torpedoes, but they're just like, I don't know, they're just not as tactically efficient. But
and also, like, their maximum sort of is warp 8, and they're just cruising, like, that's their maximum, and they really have to push it beyond that. And,
they were like, they were training at like warp 8 or so.
Yeah, very straining on the structural integrity of the ship after that. So
and the whole thing with Shaxx ejecting the warp core.
Oh yeah, and Brad speaking up about that. I think that that's great. The ejection of the warp core is great, and the crew cheering him on as he did it.
That was a little ridiculous. It was a little. I was like, is it like launching a nuclear missile, like that they need 2 keys?
It is, they need 2 keys. That was great.
That was awesome. To eject the warp core, but sure, like, it was just
it was great. So there's that piece of it. There's Brad speaking up, which I thought was great. Like, kudos to him for that. And Bold Boimler comes to the rescue in the right time and place. And then we have Mariner comes with Ramsey's ship, which I thought was great. The Oakland, I think it was. And then, she's, Freeman's like, no, it's not enough. And she's like, Mariner's like, no, that's why I brought them all. And the music, I just, every time I watch that scene, like that whole, like, everything from when the Wayfarer, the Wayfarer is Brad Boimler's ship, imaginary ship, right?
The one holodeck.
Yeah. But
I remember the names of all the ships. I mean, they're all like,
they're all cities in California.
They're all cities in California.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
It was so great. But they all, all these ships warp in, and so you see, so they focus on 5
San Diego, the San Andreas. Like, I don't know
all of them. All of them. But they focused on 5 of the crews. So they got Ramsey, they got Vendome with his all Orion crew. Remember earlier in the season, like, as they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, the Klingon version or whatever, Tendi and Rutherford tell Boimler about Vendome and how he's the captain now of a ship. And
right.
So he comes in.
Yeah, there are a lot of cameos. there was
there's
that other crew that Dr. Tana accidentally like walked onto the bridge of.
Yep. There's that crew. There is one of the crews with the Tellarite captain that they did a mission with, and then
which was the one with all the Bolians? Like, what was that?
That's
one?
Vendôme's ship.
Oh, that's Vendôme. Okay.
Yeah, Vendôme is Bolian. Sorry, I could not think of what race he was. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's the Bolian ship. There's the alternate universe, like Cerritos, basically.
Alternate universe one. Yeah.
There's the Tellarite captain's ship, and then there is the young upstart who fights with Carol over artifacts. So I just love that you got to see five of the crews and then all the other
a lot of guest appearances.
A lot of guest appearances. But just a great crescendo of music for that scene. I mean, it was like best of both worlds. Like so great. It was so great. That was one of my highlights. I got super emotional. I thought it was great to see all the California. Yes, I had feelings about the like I enjoyed it immensely.
High emotions about this particular scene, but sure.
Yes, peanut butter. We know that you do not have emotions.
Where's my emotion chip? Gotta turn it
on. So yeah, just a really cool ending to all of that, and Mariner coming back at the end and talking with her mom. And this is the point that we don't learn until the very end when Mariner and her mom reunite that, her mom admits that she overreacted and that she should have trusted Mariner. And then Mariner admits that she had spent so long trying to break that trust or show that she wasn't trustworthy. And that's the whole lesson that you don't get in episode 9, but you get at the end of episode 10, that it kind of explains the whole situation that you had a challenge with in the previous episode about how this all kind of played out. And I think that it really shows that, Mariner's whole shtick has been, not to be trusted, to speak her mind, to go against regulations, all those things. And that was her doing. And she really takes ownership for it. And that's what I'm talking about for this whole series of 3 episodes. You see all the different growth you see the growth in Mariner, you see the growth in Boimler speaking up on the bridge, you see Tendi speaking up as well, and you see Rutherford going through this whole realization about his past, and it all coming together in his storyline. So, really just culminates in a really strong finish for the season. For me, these are 3 of the best episodes of Lower Decks. I really have watched them back to back 3 times.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
They are so enjoyable. It's comfort food. It's brilliant. It's pinnacle Lower Decks stuff that we were raving about in season 1. This is what I would say it's back. For me anyway. So yeah, really strong finish to season 3. I am sad that we do not have more Lower Decks, which is how I felt after season 1. I probably did feel that a little bit about season 2. Maybe not as much, but I am definitely going to miss Lower Decks as we move forward.
Yeah. No, it was a great finale. And I'm not sure I had the emotional response that you did, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. It was like, I feel Lower Decks at its best. And apparently there is also a post-credit scene, which I did not watch, but you described it to me, and it sounds like
there is. If you haven't, setting something up for the future. If you haven't watched it, go back and
pause this recording and then come back.
Yes, go watch the last the credit after the credits of episode 10. You'll see a scene where there's a ship and a debris field, and you see Badgie appear on this little vid screen. It almost looks like it's Rutherford's implant that they're tractoring up, or they're tractoring up a bunch
I didn't
of
see it. I didn't see
yeah.
So have you
you see a
describe it
quick
for me?
glimpse of Badgie being in that little mini screen. So like I referenced earlier, I'm hoping, like you said, like we're not approaching a repeat of Discovery's Control AI and all of that crap from season 2. So especially since we now have two really bad computers in Daystrom, and a copy of Badgie on the loose. So out in the wild. But so make sure you go and watch that. And,
I have to go back and watch it. But
it's very quick. It's it's barely noticeable. There isn't a whole lot revealed other than exactly what I just shared. So all right. Well, as we approach a really long episode for episode 100.
Well, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to go over.
There is. Yeah. A lot of great stuff to talk about. And we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about Prodigy, but this is the end of our road with season 3 of Lower Decks. And
any big hopes for season 4?
I mean, my hope is that we don't have like the AI takeover of.
Oh my god! I was just about to say, Peanut Emperor coming back.
No, gosh, no! Please, no more. Yes, no. I don't need to see Agnes. I don't need to see Peanut Hamper. I don't need to see.
Gonna happen.
Badgie. I don't need to see these crazy AIs. No, let's try some original, but stuff.
Maybe they could do it in a more original way, so it's not like so tropey. We'll see what happens.
We will see. But I'm gonna miss Lower Decks, but at least I have 4 of the last 5 episodes. The second half of this season has been really strong. We'll just delete episode 7. That's fine.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for our Lower Decks discussion. If there was nothing else. All right. Well, Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor?
Yeah, Fansets is our premier sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. And if you give a listen to the latest episode of Trek Geeks, you are going to hear the team from Fansets jump on the line with Bill and Dan and talk about all the exciting things that they have coming up, including the original Next Generation badge, which was delayed due to they got it and it wasn't right, and so they
I remember them talking about that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
But in mass manufacturing, those are sometimes the things that you run into. So that is slated to come out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So there's that. They've got some new XL ship magnetic pins. They're not really pins. I guess they're pins, but they're called the Master Ship Collection. They've got the Defiant and the.
You have one, right? You have the Enterprise A or something. Is that right?
I have the Enterprise A. Yes. So. But you can get the Voyager or the Defiant. They are also working on the Titan, I believe, and the Enterprise D. So looking forward to that. A lot of their pins are back in stock as well. A lot of the magnet and a lot of the deltas are back in stock, including the Section 31 pins, the Discovery pins, and also the what was the third one? Prodigy pin. There we go.
Oh, okay. So I don't know.
Yeah, and there's more to come. They have a lot of
pins.
And then they're transitioning. Yeah, they have a lot of pins, and they
a lot of pins. Yeah,
it's great. And they take such like all of their art is original, which I think is amazing. So they do have they are transitioning the Women of Trek line into one kind of Star Trek universe line where they'll have a variety of different characters. And I think the next one coming out is Captain Kirk. They're gonna launch that. They are gonna cut back on the micro coupons, and there'll be more deltas for sure. So as well as a Christmas Murph. Hopefully, if it a festive Murph pin for the holidays. So look out for that. Murph is a very popular
Murph fans. Don't go crazy.
And you're going to find out what Murph is in the premiere episode of season 1B of Prodigy. Yes.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Yes. They identify the species that Murph is in. Yes. In
really? I watched
11. Yeah, you missed that?
On the screen?
No, he said it. They said it.
Oh, he said. Oh, yeah. I don't remember that.
So.
Oh, we need to rewatch it. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Murph is a huge hit with a lot of kids, all the kids. So anyway, so a lot of great stuff coming out for the rest of this year, and I'm sure well into 2023 from Fansets. Head on over to fansets.com, put a bunch of pins in your cart. If you use the code TrekGeeks, you're going to save 10% off your order. And if you also spend more than $30, which is pretty easy to do, you're going to get free shipping in the US. And we want to thank our friends at Fansets for being the premier sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets. All right. We would also love to hear from you all. If you want to drop us a note via email, you can email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com. Or you can DM us on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride. And don't forget, we are apparently going to be giving away some DVDs. So be on the lookout on our socials for that. And let us know what you want us to cover, if there is anything specific, in the next 100 or 200 episodes of Deep Space Pride. And we'll do our best to do that within the next 2 to 8 years. Yeah. 2 to 8 years. Yeah. 2 to 8 years. Yeah. But I think that covers episode 100, Mike.
Yeah, that's it. 100 episodes down. We start the next 100 in 2 weeks. So thanks for listening, everybody. It's been a lot of fun to do this episode, to do this podcast for this many episodes. And we want to keep doing it. So reach out to us and let us know. And also, if you have any great ideas for people we should have on the podcast, let us know. And
let us know. We'll acknowledge.
Let us know, and also connect us if you have a connection. That's the other thing. Introductions are always best. So
sure.
Anyway. Thanks, everyone, for listening to us. This has been episode 100 of Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Mike. I am one of your hosts.
And I'm Johnson, the other host.
There we go. And thanks, everybody, for listening. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for episode 101.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.